the National Herald publications, and the company which in fact had been given a loan of around 91.8 crore rupees loan by the Congress party. This company was in fact taken over by the Young India in November 2010, and Young India in fact took over the entire assets of Associate General Private Limited for a meager 51 lakh rupees. The 51 lakh rupees came from a shell company, a Kolkata-based shell company, according to Enforcement Directorate. And the statement of directors of this Kolkata-based shell company has already been recorded. What Enforcement Directorate has further said is that they have started carrying out investigation long time back, and at no judicial forum the appeals of Gandhis have been upheld. A statement of Sonia Gandhi as well as Rahul Gandhi have already been recorded, and ED says that their investigation is in final stages, and this sealing is only a temporary one. That's what they are saying, that if and when anyone, whether it's Mallikarjun Kharge or an authorized person from Mallikarjun Kharge, come and help them in opening the Young India office, then this seal will be unsealed, and they will complete the searches and they will go away. But because of politics, this drama actually happened in Delhi.
All right. Thank you, Bhavtosh and Ela, for getting us the latest on this big development. All right, moving on. This is a story that concerns everyone who votes in this country. Now, the Supreme Court has sought a suggestion on whether an expert body should look into the issue of freebies by political parties before elections. The top court asked why opposition was not concerned about this issue and said that experts from Niti Aayog, Finance Commission, RBI, opposition parties may need to go through the pros and cons of freebies. The centre, meanwhile, said that it agreed that it was a serious issue that the Election Commission should go through, as freebies have an adverse impact on the economy. The top court has given 7 days' time for suggestions from stakeholders. Reacting to these developments, Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal tweeted that providing free facilities to people will not cause economic crisis, but giving free benefits worth crores to friends may lead to a crisis.
In a long term, it's a setback to the economy. So I think it should be completely stopped by all the parties. It shouldn't be allowed anymore if we want to progress.
I think it is a good thing because the middle class people are, उनका जो अभी लॉकडाउन हुआ था इकोनॉमी में बहुत ज़्यादा वो हुआ था, तो आई थिंक कि अच्छी बात है लाइक फ्री देना, बिकॉज द रिच कैन ऑलवेज पे फॉर एनीथिंग दैट दे वांट.
कि कुछ महीनों के लिए जब किया था बिजली और पानी फ्री, तब तक के लिए आई थिंक इट्स ओके कि हाँ आपने वोट कलेक्ट करने के लिए किया, अपनी पब्लिसिटी के लिए किया, आई थिंक दैट्स ओके. बट उसके बाद के लिए आई थिंक कि इकोनॉमी के लिए डिग्रेडिंग है काफ़ी.
The government should, instead of giving it for free, they should rather give it at a subsidized rate but with better quality, and it should be affordable for everyone and they should access to it.
Freebie systems is what, ki now we have seen that what Sri Lanka is going on. Now Sri Lanka is totally bankrupt, right? And if we started giving all this freebie system here also, no, so same condition will come here also in India.
किसी को भी फ्री नहीं देना चाहिए. अगर खाने का है तो कमाना चाहिए. अदरवाइज एवरीबडी विल नोबडी विल. क्योंकि आई एम एन इंश्योरेंस एजेंट, मेरा इसमें काम बहुत है. मैं किसी को बोलता हूँ आके नौकरी करो मेरे साथ में, आई विल गिव यू पेमेंट. कोई आने को तैयार नहीं है क्योंकि सब जगह सबको फ्री मिलता है.
करप्शन बिल्कुल ही हट जाना चाहिए विद रिस्पेक्ट टू फ्रीबीज that is being given by the government during this election period. So in that case, they should think about this education.
Anything free is disaster for India, because RBI already given that if you take an example of, if you consider Telangana, Raitu Bandhu or Kalyana Lakshmi, so these are all giving from which packet they are giving. It is from the tax, right? Tax of the middle class or higher middle class, right?
All right, for more of this, I'm joined by Nilashish on the broadcast. Nilashish, we just heard the people of this country giving a very mixed reaction to freebie politics. But for the benefit of our viewers, could you take us through as to what happened in court today? What did the centre say and what did the Supreme Court observe on this very critical issue?
Well, first and foremost, as far as this plea is concerned, it was filed by BJP leader and advocate Ashwini Kumar Upadhyay, who said that political parties which induce voters through freebies during elections must be deregistered. Now, on this plea, there has been a hearing. There have been hearings going on, and today the Chief Justice N.V. Ramanna's bench took this matter up and said that it seems that it is a very serious economic issue, and every political party benefits from the promises of freebies, and I do not wish to name anyone. Now, as far as the center is concerned, of course, it told the Supreme Court that populist promises by political parties have an adverse impact on the economy, and if this freebie system continues, it is likely that it would lead to India's economic disaster. Of course, the Chief Justice's bench did agree with the fact that it is a serious problem, as we were discussing. But the court also added that various stakeholders, including opposition parties, including the Niti Aayog, the RBI, the Finance Commission, they must all ensure that some sort of suggestions are given to in fact curb this situation, to check this situation. So what the Supreme Court has said is that these various stakeholders must give in their suggestions with regard to the constitution of an expert body. And that expert body would look in to this issue and submit a report thereafter to the center, to the Election Commission, as well as to the Supreme Court. So as of now, 7 days time has been given to the Niti Aayog, the Finance Commission, and all these stakeholders to, in fact, chalk out some suggestions with regard to constituting an expert body, and then the Supreme Court will take up this matter next week.
All right. Thank you, Nilashish, for those updates. All right, breaking inputs coming in. Sources say Delhi has reported its 4th monkeypox case. This is the latest. Nigerian citizen has tested positive for the disease. The patient is a 31-year-old woman. With this, the total number of monkeypox infections in India have gone up to 9. And as the tally of monkeypox cases goes up to 9, the government has issued a list of do's and don'ts on this rare disease. The centre has said that there's a need to maintain distance from the infected and has urged people not to discriminate against the patients. This is the latest that we are getting for you. Ishika joins us for more. Ishika, a 4th case has been reported from the national capital once again. The total tally has gone up to 9 as far as monkeypox cases is concerned. What are the do's and don'ts that the government has released today?
Yes, Archana. So today, the 4th case of monkeypox has been confirmed in the capital. It might be the 4th in the capital, but it is definitely 9 in the country. Now, this case is found in a 31-year-old Nigerian woman who was living in Delhi. We did see that in the last 3 cases out of 4, it was found in Nigerian people who were living in Delhi. And the Union Health Ministry, has issued certain guidelines for the people to follow. Now, first and foremost is to avoid any kind of physical contact with the infected person. They are said to not to share any kind of materials, garments, clothes, handkerchief, towels with the infected person. Now, for the infected people, the Union Health Ministry has said, for them to track all the people who have come in contact with them for at least a month. Now, the Union Health Ministry has very specifically said that all the COVID protocols that we were following, be it the mask, be it the social distancing, or be it the hand hygiene, should be followed even in monkeypox as well. Now, we did see, yesterday, the health minister, while addressing the House, informed about certain steps that the central government is taking. He talked about the central task force, which have been made not just to monitor the developments of vaccine, but also to assist the state government in fighting monkeypox. Talking about the Delhi government, now the Arvind Kejriwal has been, assuring the people that there is no need to panic. The government has been taking steps, and we saw 20 isolation rooms have been made at LNJP alone, to fight monkeypox. Over to you.
All right. Thank you, Ishika, for those updates. All right, reports coming in. Terrorist attack, police unit in Srinagar's Alochi Bagh area. This is the latest. Terrorist fired upon a vehicle-bound small police party. All right, for more on this, I'm joined by Ishan on the broadcast. Ishan, what details can you share with us?
Like a team of police party was in a private vehicle and we're going through Alochi Bagh area of Srinagar. Alochi Bagh is close to the special operation groups and also the SSP Srinagar's office, and that is where it seems like militants indiscriminate fire at this vehicle. But lucky enough for the policemen that they managed to escape. There were no injuries according to police, and this vehicle has received multiple bullets, and people who were inside at the moment have luckily escaped. But yes, there are multiple inputs which could suggest that there is a possibility of similar kind of action by militants. One, because 5 August is around the corner, because that is the day when abrogation of Article 370 took place and bifurcation of the erstwhile state into 2 union territories also took place. Then there is also 15th of August. And that is when the most heightened security arrangements in the valley take place. And that seems to be precisely the case. There are already security arrangements that are in place, like nakas have been set up. There are coordinate search operations extensively being launched by the security forces. But yes, at the same time, this attack has taken place in Srinagar. Police have said that they have launched a coordinate search operation to see whether they have gone to this dense locality. But yes, the operation is still underway. Police is checking whether they are in the area. But they have been fired upon, but no injuries so far as we report.
All right. Thank you, Ishan, for these updates. All right. Let's tell you about our story number 4. AAP MP Harbhajan Singh and nominated MP PT Usha made their maiden speeches in Parliament today in Rajya Sabha. Harbhajan Singh raised the issue of attacks on Sikhs in Afghanistan, while PT Usha spoke about the issue of doping in sports in the country.
माननीय महोदया जी, मैं अफगानिस्तान में गुरुद्वारे और सिखों पर हो रहे हमले के बारे में बोलने के लिए खड़ा हुआ हूं। ये एक ऐसा मुद्दा है जिसने न केवल दुनिया के किसी भी कोने में रहने वाले हर सिख की भावना को आहत किया है, बल्कि ये एक सिख होने की पहचान पर हमला है। इस तरह के हमले हमें कई सवाल करने के लिए मजबूर कर देते हैं कि ये हमले हमारे ऊपर ही क्यों हमें निशाना बनाया जा रहा है।
We are yet to open our eyes to abuse of doping in our country, which was once earlier confined only to the senior national levels, has now reached the juniors, college and school level, which is serious concern that need to be addressed. When talented sports individuals are abusing performance enhancing drugs, they are not only sacrificing their career and life for short-term benefits, but they are also spoiling the talents of upcoming sports individuals who work very hard to improve their performance levels.
All right, let's get the details of story number 5. 17 opposition parties have signed a joint statement expressing deep apprehensions on the implications of the recent top court judgment upholding the provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The joint opposition has called for the review of the court order. The opposition has said that they are disappointed with the top judicial body and that the order strengthened the hands of the government. The Supreme Court's order earlier had upheld the powers of the Enforcement Directorate to hold inquiries, arrest people and attach property. The opposition has long accused the government of misusing the central agency by only investigating cases against non-BJP leaders.
ईडी और सीबीआई का जमकर दुरुपयोग हो रहा है, इसमें कहीं कोई संदेह नहीं है। और मैं आंकड़े बार बार दोहराता हूं आपके सामने। 8 साल में 3000 रेड मारा ईडी ने और मात्र 0.5% कन्विक्शन रेट है ईडी का। क्या ये समझने के लिए हिंदुस्तान के लोगों के लिए, प्रबुद्ध मीडिया जनों के लिए काफी नहीं है कि ईडी का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है, ईडी का राजनीतिक इस्तेमाल हो रहा है, ईडी को एक हथियार बना के इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। अगर 3000 रेड में 0.5% कन्विक्शन रेट है उनका, तो इसका मतलब समझा जा सकता है कि जब जिसके ऊपर मन में आया ईडी छोड़ दी। आप देख रहे हैं महाराष्ट्र में क्या हुआ, आप देख रहे हैं दिल्ली में क्या हो रहा है, आप देख रहे हैं किस तरीके से झारखंड की सरकार को गिराने की कोशिश की जा रही है, शुरू हो गई है।
I don't think it's for parliamentarians to say this because ultimately we have a separation of powers doctrine in this country. The judiciary interprets the law. They have upheld the provisions under the PMLA, which was enacted by originally in 2002, and many of the amendments that were challenged were actually, the outcome of Mr. Chidambaram's government. He was the finance minister at that time. So, what can one do? And these provisions have a historical legacy, and people who were yesterday sitting in power and were responsible for the enactment of the draconian powers are today complaining against them because, it's come back to bite them. So, unfortunate though some of the provisions are, we have to respect the verdict of the Supreme Court, accept it, and lawyers will still do their best in spite of draconian powers.
All right, so 17 opposition parties, they're calling the Supreme Court order dangerous, and a united opposition saying that we hope that this dangerous order is short-lived. This is the big update that we are getting for you as far as a united opposition raising questions, saying that the Supreme Court order strengthens the hand of the government, that they are disappointed by the highest judicial body verdict virtually reproduced executive's arguments, and they hope that this dangerous verdict will be short-lived and a larger bench examines it constitutionally. This is the latest, and the opposition also highlighting the fact that the amendments were brought through the Finance Act. So this is the big update that we are getting for you. Remember, the Supreme Court order had upheld the powers of the Enforcement Directorate to hold inquiries, arrest people and attach property in money laundering cases. Niyamika joins us for more on this. Niyamika, 17 opposition parties, they're uniting and in one voice saying that the Supreme Court order on the Enforcement Directorate is quote-unquote dangerous. For the benefit of our viewers, could you take us through the contents of this letter?
Well, as many as 17 opposition parties and an independent Rajya Sabha MP, that is Kapil Sibal, has given out a joint statement regarding the statement which was being given by the Supreme Court in the PMLA Act, and they have basically, expressed their concerns over this act, as they are alleging that it is a statement which will strengthen the central government's misuse of these central agencies, whether it is CBI or ED or IT, and that is the reason why they want a review over this the order which is being given by the Supreme Court in this PMLA Act. And today as well, we have seen that the Aam Aadmi Party's Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh has also showed his concern. He has said that this statement has clearly mentioned that this is not going to benefit the democratic manner in which our country functions, and that is the reason why these opposition parties have basically demanded a review. And Congress party has also said that they will appeal to the Supreme Court once again to review all this order which is being given by the Supreme Court. And this is being said with all due respect to the highest court, and they have said that they just want to appeal to the apex court that they must review this whole matter, because this may also give out a reason to the central government to again misuse all these institutions against the opposition parties, again, as they can also use ED to suppress the voice of opposition and to muzzle down their concerns, which they continuously raising for the benefit of the people of this country.
All right, thank you, Niyamika, for those updates. Moving on, amid furor over the school job scam in Bengal and after the arrest of former Minister Partha Chatterjee in the same, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee revamped her cabinet. The newly appointed ministers Babul Supriyo, Snehashish Chakrabarti, Partha Bhaumik, Udyan Guha, Pradeep Majumdar, Biplab Roy, Tajmul Hussain, Satyajit Barman and Birbaha Hansda took oath as new ministers, cabinet ministers today after the tainted minister Partha Chatterjee was stripped of his position as a cabinet minister. There was much interest in who would be allotted his portfolios. Now, Babul Supriyo has been given the charge of information technology as well as tourism. Now, Dr. Shashi Panja has been given industry, commerce, enterprises as well as public enterprises and industrial reconstruction. These portfolios were held by Partha. Right, so this is the big update. Babul Supriyo making a cut as far as Mamta's cabinet is concerned. He had very recently joined the TMC. Earlier, he was a minister in the BJP government, and today he has taken oath as a cabinet minister in Mamta's team. Now, a PMLA court in Kolkata today extended the Enforcement Directorate custody of former Bengal Minister Partha Chatterjee and his aide Arpita Mukherjee till August 5. Earlier today, ED had sought Partha Chatterjee's custody for 4 more days and Arpita's custody for 3 days. Now, the Enforcement Directorate, which is probing the multi-crore school job scam, had informed the court that ex-minister's aide Arpita is more cooperative than Partha Chatterjee. The Calcutta court had also allowed Arpita's counsel to meet her one day. The ex-minister's lawyer had prayed for bail. Meanwhile, Arpita's counsel said that there was no requirement for any further ED custody of his client. All right, for more on this, I'm joined by Adrija on the broadcast. Adrija, 2 significant developments. The Enforcement Directorate has got Partha Chatterjee and Arpita's custody till August 5, and Mr. Babul Supriyo taking oath as a minister in Mamta's cabinet.
Well, absolutely. So these two are linked because, you know, the reshuffle that has taken place in the cabinet today was majorly triggered by the arrest of the former minister Partha Chatterjee and the name that has been dragged down of TMC. So this decision was taken by TMC majorly after his arrest. So Partha Chatterjee held 3 major departments in the cabinet, and therefore his departments have been distributed among other ministers. As many as 9 new ministers have been sworn in today, and this is one of the biggest reshuffle that has taken place since 2011, and this is the year when TMC first time came to power in West Bengal. So one of the very interesting name in the cabinet that has been sworn in today is Babul Supriyo. He has been given the IT, electronics and the tourism department, and this was one of the departments of Partha Chatterjee, which Partha Chatterjee used to look after. And yes, as we have seen that he has recently joined TMC a couple of months ago, and now he's being sworn in as a minister. So it's a very interesting development. Also, apart from him, Shashi Panja has been given added more responsibility. He has, apart from her social welfare and child development. So yeah, we will yet have to see how these cabinet reshuffles works out for the government. But as of now, almost 9 new ministers have been sworn in, and it's a really big reshuffle that has happened since TMC came to power in the state.
All right, thank you, Adrija, for those updates. All right, moving on. This is our story number 7. Let's tell you about Rahul Gandhi's Karnataka challenge. Now, amid reports of tussle over one-upmanship between the Congress leaders Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar over CM's post, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi visited the state and held a meeting with key leaders urging for a united front to take on the BJP. Rahul's meeting with former Chief Minister and the man seen as a contender for the top job seemed to have eased the situation in the state unit. It was Siddaramaiah's 75th birthday. Now, during his visit, Rahul visited a prominent Lingayat seminary to seek blessing of the seers in a move which is seen to woo the key Lingayat vote ahead of the assembly elections next year.
Happy occasion. I have come here for the celebration of Siddaramaiah ji's birthday. I don't normally go to birthday celebrations. And I have come here because I share a special relationship with Mr. Siddaramaiah. Of course, I like the person Siddaramaiah ji, but I also share his views.
All right, so this is the latest that we are getting as far as Rahul Gandhi's Karnataka visit is concerned. Remember, as we speak, security has been heightened outside his residence in Delhi and Sonia Gandhi's residence as well. So there are twin challenges, one in the state of Karnataka because there are fissures that are deepening within the Karnataka Congress because two main faces of the party are at loggerheads. We're talking about former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar. All right, moving on. At a time when India is witnessing a massive medical tourism boom, Tamil Nadu is hoping that the nationwide trend helps the state as well. In an exclusive conversation with Mirror Now's Dharini, Tamil Nadu's tourism minister revealed that the state is trying to organize a single window system for those who are in urgent need for medical attention.
So when we talk about Tamil Nadu, of course, we know that it's a very good destination for health and wellness related services. In fact, people not only from other states but from other countries also, they come to Tamil Nadu for their medical treatments and other well-being related things. So in that purview, health tourism is also an important aspect as far as this department is concerned. So post-COVID, how is health tourism? Is there any setback or are we seeing an improvement or kind of setback?
Normally, Chennai stands taller when it comes to medical tourism. So medical tourism is like, it is defined as people come from one place to another place for cost-effective treatment. So that is the term for medical tourism. So you have many, since the health facility in Chennai, when it comes to Tamil Nadu, especially in Chennai, in Coimbatore and certain other important cities, it is very well, it's par to other countries. And the cost is also like compared to other countries, it is low. So it is, I think it is affordable. So you have many patients coming here, like let it be from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka, from the Gulf. So you have many people coming to Chennai. So I have also made an announcement regarding medical tourism. But now we are, myself, the secretary and the director, and we have a discussion about the medical tourism. We are trying to, what can we do on behalf of tourism to organize it? Let it be through a single window system. So it's there, it's on a thought. We are trying to plan it out. Soon we'll do some measures when it comes to medical tourism, and I think there is no fall or anything. The medical tourism, it's always many patients are coming inside Chennai too. I think it's booming only. So.
All right. Yeah. So as as the tourism minister of the state, what would you like to tell the people who are watching this, in terms of tourism in the state? Like, what are we having for them to come?
Now we have launched the cruise. I think you are aware of it. The first time in South India, we have launched the cruise. Our Honorable Chief Minister has launched it just 1 or 2 months before. And I think people are very much happy about the cruise, the first time cruise in Chennai. So, and now we have many new activities coming up in tourism. So now that is the main thing is the adventure tourism. We are focusing on that, and soon the guidelines will be released. And what I say is, like, they are ready to enjoy. It's our job to, do the things which is needed for them, to get them organized, to get the hotels ready, to get the rebranding done, to get the structure, to get the guidelines. So nothing. If we are doing everything on our side good, people are ready to enjoy the activities by the tourism department.
And it's time for a short break. Stay tuned. We'll get to the special report. Times Network's Karishma speaks exclusively to table tennis gold medalist. We'll be back.
भाई इसमें इतना ओपी प्रोसेसर है पर कुछ प्रोसेस ही नहीं होता तू मेरे साथ आ
Omen 16 with Tempest cooling technology gives you 3-sided venting and 5-way airflow that lets you game and multitask like a pro. Game on with Tempest cooling.
देश को आजाद हुए 75 साल हो गए। आज हमारे बच्चों की आंखों में एक सपना है, भारत को दुनिया का सर्वश्रेष्ठ राष्ट्र बनाना है।